Mr. Thorne was one of the most powerful men in the city. He owned one of the largest tech companies on earth. People feared him. People respected him. But inside his glass mansion high above the clouds, he was just a man with a broken heart. 3 months ago, his wife died in a hovercar crash. One moment she was smiling and laughing on a video call. The next moment, the car lost control and burst into flames. Mr. Thorne had money, power, and a private security team. But he couldn't save her. After her death, their 6-year-old daughter, Lila, stopped speaking. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just sat in her room, staring out the window at the floating cars passing by. Therapists came and went. Expensive AI caretakers tried to talk to her, sing to her, make her laugh. Nothing worked. The house was silent. Too silent. Mr. Thorne became desperate. He told his assistant to find someone, anyone, who could connect with his daughter. Someone human. Someone simple. Someone different. That's when Miss Zara came. She didn't come through any agency. She just appeared at the mansion gates one morning with an old suitcase and soft eyes. Her skin was dark, smooth, and her short curly hair was tied with a thin white cloth. She wore a long, faded dress like people wore 100 years ago. She said few words. "I heard the girl needed a nanny," she said quietly. Mr. Thorne stared at her. "Do you have a resume?" "No." "Do you have experience?" "Yes." He didn't know why, but he said yes. Something in her voice felt warm, even though it was calm and slow. His security team was unsure. The house staff whispered. But Mr. Thorne was too tired to care. He just wanted his daughter back. Miss Zara moved into the guest quarters and started the same day. She didn't use machines. She didn't ask for screens or assistants. She read lila paper books, sang quiet songs with no words, and sometimes just sat beside her, holding her hand. She cooked food by hand, with real ingredients. She cleaned Lila's room herself. And every evening, just before sunset, she played soft music from a strange old wooden box. At first, Lila didn't respond. She didn't move. But on the 5th night, something changed. Lila blinked. Then she tilted her head. Then she smiled. Mr. Thorne was watching from his office through the house's private security screens. He leaned closer. His fingers trembled over the keyboard. His daughter hadn't smiled in months. Zara placed her hand gently on Lila's back and stood up. Then the music started. It wasn't any song Mr. Thorne had heard before. It sounded like wind and drums, like waves and heartbeat together. It filled the room without speakers. And Zara, quiet, strange Zara, began to move. But not like any normal person. Her feet lifted off the floor. Slowly, gently, she danced above the ground, no more than a few inches, but floating like a feather in the air. Her dress swayed with her, and her hands moved like they were painting shapes that only Lila could understand. Lila stood up, still smiling, and began to spin slowly with her. Mr. Thorne's mouth dropped open. He hit replay, watched it again. He zoomed in. He checked for wires, special effects, anything. There was nothing. She was really floating. And the strange part? Lila looked happy, safe, at peace. Later that night, when the music stopped, and Zara tucked Lila into bed, Mr. Thorne tried to ask her what he saw. He stepped into the hallway as she closed Lila's door. "Miss Zara." She turned and gave him a small nod. "I saw you, on the screen. You were floating." She looked at him, calm as ever. Did she smile? Yes. "Then you saw what mattered." She walked away. Mr. Thorne stood in the hallway, cold air blowing gently from the vents, his mind racing. Who was she? How was she doing this? And why? Did it feel like she didn't come here for a job, but for a mission? In his control room, he zoomed in one last time on Zara's face during the dance. Her eyes had glowed, just for a second. Mr. Thorne didn't sleep that night. He kept watching the video of Miss Zara dancing, over and over, zooming in, slowing it down, rewinding, fast-forwarding. Every time, it was the same. Her feet lifted off the floor. Her dress floated around her like she was underwater. The air shimmered faintly around her, like heat waves rising from a road. And her eyes, just for 1 second, glowed gold. But what bothered Mr. Thorne more than anything was that his daughter Lila looked happy. The next morning, he didn't say a word about it. Zara acted as if nothing had happened. She made breakfast. She brushed Lila's hair. She cleaned the windows by hand. And Lila, she spoke her first word in months. Toast, she whispered. The cook dropped a spoon in surprise. Everyone turned and stared at her. But Zara just smiled gently and handed Lila a warm slice of buttered toast. No questions, no celebration, just calm, quiet care. After that day, Lila started to talk again, slowly, a few words here and there, then full sentences, then laughter. She even began humming the strange songs Zara played each evening. But something strange was happening in the mansion. Light bulbs flickered when Zara walked into a room. Broken toys fixed themselves while Lila slept. One maid swore she saw Zara's reflection move before she did. Another said she heard music playing from a room when no music system was there. The staff got nervous. Some avoided Zara completely. Others whispered that she was a witch or a robot or something worse. But Mr. Thorne didn't fire her. He watched. One night, he stayed up late again, watching the hallway cameras. At 8:03 p.m., the strange music began to play. Zara and Lila were in the living room. Zara took Lila's hand and began spinning slowly. Then it happened again. Zara lifted off the floor. But this time, so did Lila. Mr. Thorne leaned forward. Lila laughed. Floating in a circle, her arms stretched wide, she danced through the air with Zara, their feet just inches above the ground, like two stars moving in slow orbit. It was beautiful. It was impossible. He pressed the intercom button. Security, come to the control room. Now. Within minutes, 2 guards in black entered. Yes, sir. I need a background check, deep level, on the nanny. Zara? Yes, I want full data. Her past, her ID, her family, everything. Understood. They left without question. Mr. Thorne stared at the screen. Zara was now tucking Lila into bed again. Then she turned toward the hallway camera and paused. It was as if she could see it. She smiled softly, then walked out of frame. The next morning, Mr. Thorne got the report. It was only 1 page long. No data found. What do you mean, no data? He asked. She has no birth record, no national ID, no bank account, no fingerprints in any system. Her face doesn't match anything in the database. She doesn't exist. We even tried facial recognition across old security footage in the city, one of the guards added. The system crashed halfway. Mr. Thorne frowned. People don't just appear out of nowhere. Sir, the guard said quietly, what if she's not? People. Later that day, Mr. Thorne called Zara into his office. She stepped in, calm and quiet as always. He stared at her. Who are you? I'm the one who came when your daughter called. I didn't call anyone. No, Zara said. But she did. Mr. Thorne's heart skipped a beat. What does that mean? Zara tilted her head. You wouldn't believe me yet. Try me. She walked to the large glass wall behind his desk and looked out at the sky. There are many kinds of people in the universe, Mr. Thorne. Some live in towers. Some live in stars. Some listen when a child cries in silence. He stepped toward her. Are you saying you're not from here? Zara didn't answer. She just smiled softly. That night, as Mr. Thorne checked the mansion's defense systems, something strange happened. A red blinking dot appeared on the screen. An unknown flying object was hovering above the mansion roof. It wasn't on any flight path. It wasn't responding to signals. And it was right above Lila's room. Activate drone defense, Mr. Thorne barked. But the system wouldn't respond. The cameras began to glitch. Then, through one screen, he saw a black sphere, silent, glowing faintly, hovering outside the girl's bedroom window. Mr. Thorne ran. But by the time he reached the hallway, the door to Lila's room opened slowly. Zara stood there, her eyes glowing gold again. Don't worry, she said calmly. I've been waiting for them. Mr. Thorne froze at the doorway. Miss Zara stood calmly, her hand resting on Lila's shoulder. The room glowed with a strange golden light, like sunlight underwater. Outside the window floated the black sphere, smooth, silent, and humming softly. No wings, no jets, just a single eye-like light in the center, blinking slowly. "What is that?" Mr. Thorne whispered. Zara looked at him. "It came to take her." His blood ran cold. "Take who?" "Lila," Zara said quietly. "They sensed her gift. She's more like me than you realize." Mr. Thorne stepped forward. "You're not taking my daughter anywhere." Zara didn't move. "They're not mine, and they won't listen to you." Suddenly, the window cracked. A thin beam of white light entered the room and surrounded Lila like a cage of glass. She didn't scream. She just looked confused. "Zara?" Lila whispered. "What's happening?" Zara took her hand. "Remember the dance, little one. Close your eyes." Lila obeyed. The light around her pulsed faster. Mr. Thorne ran forward. "Get her out of that light." But as he reached out, his hand burned with invisible force. Zara lifted her other hand. Her voice was calm, but it echoed with power. "She is under my care." The light flickered, then broke. The cage shattered like glass, fading into dust. The sphere outside twitched. It backed away from the window, blinking rapidly. Zara turned to it, her eyes glowing bright gold now. "You came too early," she said in a language Mr. Thorne didn't understand. The sphere trembled. Then it flew upward, fast, so fast it disappeared into the clouds. Silence. The golden glow in the room faded. Zara looked at Mr. Thorne. "They will return. Stronger next time." Mr. Thorne was shaking. "What was that thing? Who are they? And what did you mean, Lila's like you?" Zara picked up Lila and tucked her into bed gently. "Some children are born touched by the stars. Your daughter, she's one of them." He didn't understand. "You mean she's an alien?" Zara smiled softly. "Not alien, just different. Like a tree grown from special seed. You didn't notice it until it bloomed." Mr. Thorne ran a hand through his hair. "She was just a little girl, broken by grief. She woke up," Zara said, "when I danced. When she smiled, her gift responded to mine. That's why they noticed her." Mr. Thorne sat down slowly. "And who are you really?" Zara paused. For the first time she looked sad. "I was once like her, but I was taken too soon. Raised by the sky, not the earth. I escaped. Now I help others stay free." "You're protecting her," he realized. Zara nodded. "But I can't do it alone." That night, the mansion went on high alert. Extra guards, shield drones, windows reinforced with energy glass. But Zara didn't ask for protection. She stayed with Lila, reading old books and playing soft music, the same music she used during the dance. Each night, Lila's powers grew stronger. She could float for longer now. Lights flickered when she laughed. Sometimes her drawings moved on their own. And through it all, Zara guided her gently. No pressure, no fear, just calm, quiet teaching. Meanwhile, Mr. Thorne buried himself in research. He searched secret databases, hacked into satellite networks, paid hackers to search the deep net. He found nothing on Zara, but he did find whispers of something else. Project Starborn, an old hidden government file. It was locked, but the name appeared in fragments, always connected to strange children, glowing lights, and disappearances. He looked at Lila's smile one evening and made a promise to himself. "No one will take her from me. Not again." But deep in the sky, beyond what satellites could see, something huge was moving. It wasn't just one sphere this time. It was a fleet, and they were headed straight for Earth. 3 nights later, the sky changed. At first, people thought it was a storm. Clouds turned silver, the moon disappeared, and then hundreds of glowing shapes appeared in the sky like stars falling upward. Mr. Thorne stood on his mansion's balcony, watching the sky. He wasn't the only one. Every major news channel, every camera, every phone pointed upward, but none of them could explain what they were seeing. In secret military bases, red alarms flashed. Satellites stopped working. Missiles locked and failed. Mr. Thorne turned to Zara. who stood quietly beside him. "They've come back," he said. Zara nodded. "And they're not here to talk." Inside, Leila sat in the middle of her room, eyes closed. Her hands floated above the ground. Her drawings spun slowly in the air around her. When she opened her eyes, they glowed, just like Zara's had before. "I can feel them," she whispered. "They're calling me." Zara walked in. "You don't have to answer, little one." "But they're loud," Leila said. "So loud." Zara knelt beside her. "Then we'll teach them silence." Suddenly, one of the glowing ships broke away from the fleet. It flew lower, faster, straight toward the mansion. Mr. Thorne saw it from the balcony. "It's coming here." He ran to Lila's room. "We need to move. We need to hide her." Zara stayed calm. "You can't hide a star when it shines." There was a deep humming. The walls shook. The lights flickered. Then the front yard exploded in white light. The ship landed. It didn't crash. It floated just above the grass, silent and still. Then the doors opened. Out came 3 figures. They wore long silver robes. Their faces were hidden behind smooth glass masks. They didn't walk. They glided. Mr. Thorne stepped in front of Leela. "You're not taking her." The lead figure spoke. Its voice was deep, smooth, and echoed in the air. "The child belongs to the Unity." "She's not yours," Mr. Thorne growled. "She is not yours either," the figure said. "She was born of both worlds. She is waking now. Her power is needed." Zara stepped forward. "She's needed here." The figures looked at her. For the first time, they paused. "You," the lead one said. "You are the lost one." Zara stood tall. "I chose to stay behind. I will not go with you, and neither will she." The figures raised their hands. A pulse of energy fired toward Zara. But before it hit her, Leela raised her hand. The beam stopped in the air, froze like glass. Lila's voice echoed across the room. "No." Her eyes glowed like burning stars. Her body lifted into the air. Light swirled around her like a storm. "You can't hurt her," she said. "She's mine. She's my family." The 3 beings backed away. Zara smiled. "She's stronger than you expected." The lead figure spoke again. "We will return, and next time she must choose." Then they vanished, pulled back into the ship. The ship rose into the sky like a falling star in reverse. It joined the fleet and disappeared into the silver clouds. Silence returned. Zara looked at Mr. Thorne. "They will be back." That was only a test. Lila landed softly on the ground. Her powers faded. She looked tired but calm. Mr. Thorne knelt beside her. "I won't let them take you." Zara placed a hand on his shoulder. "They don't take. They convince. We must help her choose her way." He looked at Leela. "Then we'll fight, if we have to." But in the sky, something darker now stirred. The leaders of the Unity had seen the girl's power, and they had a new plan. They wouldn't ask next time. They would control. The next morning, the mansion felt quiet, too quiet. Lila sat on the floor, playing with her floating drawings. Her hands moved slowly, and the paper animals danced around her in the air. But her eyes looked worried. "Miss Zara," she whispered, "they're in my dreams now." Zara knelt beside her. "What do they say?" "They show me a world full of light, but no people. It's like a perfect prison." Zara's face grew serious. "That is the Unity. They call it peace, but it is control." Downstairs, Mr. Thorne met with his top engineers and security team. "I want shields. I want cloaking tech. I don't care what it costs," he ordered. "If anything touches this house again, I want to know before it lands." His guards nodded and left. But one man stayed behind. He wore a long gray coat and had a strange metal eye. "Mr. Thorne," he said, "I'm Agent Crow. I've read your files on the ski visitors. I believe you." Mr. Thorne looked at him sharply. "Your government?" Crow nodded. "Old government. The part that remembers Project Starborn." Mr. Thorne leaned forward. "Then help me protect my daughter." Crow paused. "It's not that simple. If she's truly connected to them, there's only one way to be sure." Mr. Thorne frowned. "What do you mean?" "A test," said Crow. "We call it the Mirror Protocol. If she passes, she's safe. If she fails, the Unity takes control of her forever. Upstairs, Zara felt a cold wave run through her chest. She turned to Leela. Something is coming. Something human. But worse. That night, the test began. Without warning, the mansion was surrounded by strange lights. The air shimmered like water. Even the stars seemed to disappear. Zara ran to the window. It's not the fleet. It's Earth tech. The room changed. Walls melted away. The floor turned into smooth white stone. Suddenly, Lila was standing in a white space, with no doors, no windows, and no one else. She looked around. Miss Zara? Daddy? Nothing. Then, she saw herself. Another Lila appeared in front of her. But this one had cold eyes, glowing silver. I'm the better version, the fake Lila said. With the Unity, I will never cry. I will never feel pain. I will be perfect. Lila backed away. That's not me. The silver Lila smiled. That's what you think now. But watch. Suddenly, scenes flashed in the air. Lila alone at her mother's funeral. Lila hiding under the bed shaking. Lila trying to smile in front of people who ignored her. You are weak, the copy said. They will never understand you. Only we can. Outside the test chamber, Mr. Thorne watched the screens. She's scared, he said. Zara placed a hand on the screen. She must choose. We can't help her in there. Back inside the white room, Lila looked into the copy's glowing eyes. Then she did something unexpected. She reached out and hugged her. The silver copy froze. I know you're part of me, Lila said softly. But I don't want to be perfect. I just want to be real. The silver Lila began to crack, like glass breaking. No, it said. You must choose power. I already did, Lila whispered. I choose love. The white room shattered. Light exploded from her body. Back in the real world, the screens shorted out. Lights burst. The test machine died. Zara smiled. She passed. Lila opened her eyes. Back in her room, breathing hard, but safe. Mr. Thorne hugged her tight. I'm so proud of you. But Agent Crow looked nervous. If she rejected the Unity, he said, they won't wait anymore. He looked at Zara. They're coming to take her by force. Zara nodded. Then we fight. They didn't glow. They didn't make sound. They just appeared, like shadows sliding into the sky. Inside the mansion, Zara stood at the center of the hall. She wore a long black robe now, covered in symbols that glowed faintly. Her eyes were calm, but her voice was serious. They are here. Mr. Thorne loaded a plasma pistol. Then we stand our ground. Agent Crow touched his metal eye. I'll hold the outside. But Lila stepped forward. No guns. They all looked at her. Zara taught me something, she said. Power is not about hurting. It's about choosing. Outside, a ship the size of a building floated over the mansion. Its bottom opened like a flower. From the light inside, the Unity leader appeared, taller than before, glowing like a sun in a man's shape. Child, it said in many voices, you were tested. You refused. Now we take what is ours. Zara stepped in front of Leela. She is not yours. But the Unity ignored her. It raised its hand, and time froze. Birds stopped midair. Leaves stopped falling. Only Leela and Zara could still move. Zara turned. They're trying to control reality itself, but they don't understand one thing. What? Leela asked. Zara smiled. You can't freeze a dance. Suddenly, music began. Not from speakers, not from any machine. It came from Lila's heart. Soft at first, then strong. The world lit up with gold energy as she stepped forward and began to dance. Her feet lifted from the ground. With every move, the frozen world cracked and shifted. Zara joined her, spinning slowly through the air beside her, arms flowing like wind. Each step rewrote reality. Each motion told a story of pain, of love, of strength, of memory. Mr. Thorne unfroze, tears in his eyes. That's my daughter. The Unity leader screamed. Its shape flickered, its form cracked. You can't fight us with movement, it cried. Lila opened her arms. I'm not fighting. I'm freeing. She leaped high into the air and clapped her hands once. Boom! A shockwave of golden light burst across the sky. The Unity ships glowed, then dimmed, then disappeared like smoke in the wind. Gone. The sky turned blue again. Birds flew. Wind blew. The world came back. Zara landed softly beside Lila. You ended it. Lila smiled. No, I started something better. The mansion was quiet again. But this time, it was peaceful, not afraid. Mr. Thorne ran to his daughter and lifted her in his arms. You saved us. No, Daddy, she said. We saved each other. Agent Crow stared at the sky. The Unity won't return. Not after that. Zara looked at Lila. The world isn't ready for you yet. But one day, they will be. What happens now? Lila asked. Zara smiled. Now, we live, we laugh, and sometimes we dance. As the sun rose over the earth, the quiet nanny turned protector, and the once lonely child walked hand in hand into a new future. And somewhere beyond the stars, a quiet message echoed through the galaxies. The child is not one of us. She is something more.